Hey, my love, welcome to your weekly forecast for the week of March 9th to the 16th, 2025. This week brings us into our first eclipse season of the year with a total lunar eclipse in Virgo. So from this Friday on, things can really start to change. Also this week, Mercury stations retrograde in Aries, of course, joining Venus retrograde in this sign. So while eclipse seasons are associated with an acceleration of time, retrogrades are all about slowing down. So we can experience both this week. Hours that go on forever and days that fly by, for example. The point is, the astrology of this week and this month more generally is not linear. It's kind of chaotic. But what we really want to focus on this week is, apart from being present, purging, editing, or resetting our lives. Deep, soul-level spring cleaning is really what this week can help us to do. It's a big week, so let's get into the highlights. On Tuesday, Mercury conjoins Venus in Aries. So we start the week with this moment of clarity or realization. Venus has been retrograde in Aries since March 1st. And now Mercury, who will go retrograde this weekend, meets up with her, and understanding can arrive. So what we've been reevaluating or rethinking all month so far can click, and plans and decisions can start to be made. Our Aries ruled house in our birth chart has just started to transform with this Venus retrograde, and this spring is the beginning of a whole new era for this area of our life because Saturn and Neptune are about to enter Aries soon. So Tuesday with this Mercury-Venus conjunction can bring a little bit of clarity around what it is we really want for this area of our life and what story is emerging now. Now on Wednesday, the Sun conjoins Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is active this week because it also plays a pretty big role in the eclipse. But the Sun-Saturn conjunction can mean a moment of self-awareness, even a spiritual kind of awakening moment. Pisces is about transcendence and the soul, and Saturn is about boundaries, and the Sun is pure energy, pure life force. So when Saturn meets up with the Sun, it revives itself. It totally resets itself, and it has a chance to renew its commitment to some larger purpose. So Wednesday can bring some new pact that we're making with the universe, or even a new sense of mission, which can be revitalizing or refreshing. Now on Friday at 2:54 a.m. ET, we have our total lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees of the sign. So a total lunar eclipse, also known as a blood moon, occurs when the Earth comes right between the Sun and Moon. And so the Earth's shadow completely covers the moon. So it's a total lunar eclipse, which is basically a super intense lunar eclipse, which is a super intense full moon. So lunar eclipses are associated with fated endings or culmination points. And so doors close around these lunations. It can become clear what path is not leading forward. And they can spotlight our emotions and bring up maybe some grief or sadness or just big emotions as we are made to reassess our path in some way. Now in Virgo, the sign of purification and cleaning, on the South Node, a point associated with detoxification, this lunar eclipse is all about purging, editing our lives from our closet to our calendar, to our routines, to our relationships. This lunar eclipse will help us to scrub away whatever might be blocking us from living our most purposeful daily life. Virgo is analytical and discerning, and it also rules boundaries, details, and meticulousness. And so we can harness this energy to clean up whatever needs cleaning in our life on any level. And just paying closer attention to the impact of the little things or our daily habits that all add up. So what you might do this week is Envision your best day, your dream day, what you would love to happen in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And then compare your current days to that and just notice where you might want to start making some changes. Eclipse seasons are great times to make changes. As the moon switches up her regular schedule and flow, we ideally can do that too. Remember that eclipses are always kind of plot twists, like they're wild cards, lunations, and so we don't know what's going to happen, but it could be unexpected. And so whatever occurs around the 14th could be jarring, but this is not the whole story. It could be that what is illuminated under this eclipse is actually not a cause for concern at all, although it might prompt some initial kind of panic or like anxiety. We never really know with eclipses, but what we want to do this week is not hide, because eclipses are associated with fate. And so this week and the events that arise could end up becoming in some way a key part of our life path and purpose later down the line. So we just want to be aware this week. This eclipse is also in opposition to Saturn and Neptune at the very last degree of Pisces. And so this opposition is ultimately helping us to see where black and white thinking, or even being stuck in the past in our thinking, might be limiting our growth and progress. This opposition just heightens the potential for transformational clearing, or like intentionally breaking out of old patterns. Now, after this eclipse, we enter into the eclipse gateway or eclipse portal. This is the 2-week period of time between two eclipses where a lot of growth, healing, and progress can occur. And since the moon will be waning or decreasing in size and light as we approach the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th, this particular eclipse gateway period is about letting go, reducing, simplifying, paring down, or editing. Now, getting into the weekend, on Saturday, Mercury will turn retrograde in Aries until April 7th. So, in Aries, the sign of the self, the leader, trailblazer, and pioneer, this Mercury retrograde is about reconsidering our identity or persona in some way, rethinking our mission as an individual, and maybe bringing more heightened awareness to the unique trail that we came here to blaze. Mercury retrograde in Aries can help us to slow down so we can really get clear on what our unique path is and what it needs from us to become what it wants to become. Now, next week, the sun enters Aries where it is exalted. The sun will conjoin Neptune and the North Node, and we have our Venus Cazimi. So next week is powerful. It's bringing the energy that we need to start new things and get things moving. Now let's pull some cards for the week for guidance. What do we need to know about the week of March 9th to the 16th, 2025? So we have the 7 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the 5 of Pentacles. Wow. I think what's really important to be mindful of this week is that we are exactly where we need to be right now. And there's nothing happening behind the scenes or behind the curtain that we don't know about. You know, everything that we need to be aware of right now is in plain sight. And if it's not in plain sight, it's none of our business right now. And maybe it'll become clear later. But just know that no one else has the answers and no one else is keeping them from you. And feeling like that or suspecting that, like trying to get something from someone else, is very well an illusion. We are on our own learning journey here, our own learning mission, and we are exactly where we need to be on it. And here and now is where everything is. The Hierophant is like, you're doing it. You are learning so much about the tricks of the trade, about what it means to work with the tools and ideas, values, ideologies that you came here to work with, learning about the way that things are done around here, structures, rules, traditions, very Saturnian energy. And the Five of Pentacles brings this outsider energy, this feeling of being outside of something and trying to get in. Very aware of lack. Very aware of lack. Challenge yourself to focus on what is working this week. It might seem trivial or small, but starting where you are with what you have, with the gratitude that you have for wherever you are, like, that's the point where things can start moving forward in a whole new direction, right? We don't want to stay stuck by trying to keep figuring something out or trying to keep looking for solutions outside of us. We came here to be a unique individual on our own unique path. And that's not easy. It of course comes with challenges and obstacles and roadblocks, but they are our education. Let's talk about the Seven of Swords. Sneaky thoughts, potentially an energy of wanting to escape something, feeling like maybe even we're getting away with something, or someone is getting away with something, suspicion. What thoughts do you just want to cut loose this week? Let them go. And really bringing your awareness to, what are you learning right now? What are you learning about relationships in your life? What are you learning about your needs and how you can meet them effectively? What are you learning about what works and what does not work in your career? Like, learn from you. Be your own teacher. On the root of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. I think the path ahead can become a lot clearer if we are aware of our ideal end goal, our vision for our life, and what it is we want to happen this year. No one else can tell us what to want or what we want. And so we are the keeper of our own 10 of Cups vision, our own definition of connection and unconditional love, what that means to us, what abundance looks like and means to us, what autonomy and creative agency means to us. Get clear on your 10 of Cups vision, your best case scenario. And you're not alone. The Star is the last card that we've pulled here. The Star. You are not alone. The Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles can highlight a feeling of being alone in a certain struggle, maybe. So if you're feeling that way, chances are someone has felt that way before, even though the mind may try to make us feel like what we're going through is, no one else goes through that. And we can feel shame. And when things are in the dark, we keep things to ourselves. And that's when, problems grow and become bigger. You're not alone this week, and know that there are people on your path who have done what you are trying to do. I always like to be mindful of that when I pull the Hierophant, because it's just like a teacher type energy. We all have something to teach each other, and this week could be a time to remember that and tap into some really helpful lessons and solutions that we might not have thought of ourselves, but we have to be open-minded enough to receive them. The Star. Really like seeing this card come up for an eclipse week. The Star is just this, signs, synchronicities, guidance from the divine, healing. Ask for signs this week. Ask for the universe to come through for you. It will. That is your reading for this week, my love. I hope that offered some helpful food for thought on this very active week, and I will talk to you next week. Hey, my love. My March email course, Your Eclipse Story, begins this week, and it's all about actively engaging with spring's eclipse season and welcoming the changes that it wants to bring into our lives. So when you join, you'll receive exclusive audio offerings and astrology-inspired journal prompts between the lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 14th and the solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th. And through those, you'll be guided to record and own your eclipse story as it unfolds. So if you want to get clear on how spring's eclipses are affecting your birth chart and how you can best work with them, and you'd like to do that in community, this email course can serve you. So the link to your eclipse story is in the show notes, and I am looking forward to navigating eclipse season with you.